right, hey guys, thanks for joining my channel and watching me. Just want to share some exciting news with you. So behind me here, I have a BMW 330 Ci. It's a E46. I believe it's a 2001, if I remember correctly. And I picked it up for, I want to say like $1,000, maybe 1,100. Paid about 200 to get it home on a tow truck. It had been sitting for, gosh, I don't know. The guy said at least a year. He said he drove it, parked it, and like that was basically it after he bought it. He was like a young college kid. I don't know if he knew a ton about how to work on cars or what, but I bought it knowing it was a bit of a gamble. It was kind of the right price. It's a manual, 5-speed, and I kind of felt like it was the right place, the right time for it. He had a clean title. It just felt right, so I went for it. Bought this thing, brought it home. It had a set of wheels on it that I figured I could sell for a pretty decent amount. I think I recovered five, six, or $700 from those wheels alone. Almost, almost making my money back on the purchase of the car. So I brought it home, and and the night after I brought it home, I I had it running. I think it was like 24 hours later. I had it running, and because we got it home like at midnight the night that I bought it. So like next morning I got up and kind of skipped out on work for a little bit and worked on it a little bit. Pulled off the intake boot at one point, and I found a glove in the intake boot. So pulled that glove out of there, and I had swapped out. I changed oil and touched up a couple other things. I found the vacuum hose going down to the fuel pressure regulator. It had been disconnected or broken off. I'm not really sure, but got that all connected back up, and charged the battery up and cranked it up, and it started. Um, and much to my surprise, it started, it ran, and it was good. It was fine. I think I spent maybe another hour or two just getting it to a place where I was at least mildly comfortable with driving a car that had been sitting for more than a year, so that my wife and I could take it down the street, just around the block, and drive it. And uh, I was very surprised because like no smoke, no, like this motor's totally fine. It's got 220,000 miles on it. Motor's totally fine. And car was just ready for me to do some serious work on it. We drove it around the block. It did great. Had a thunk when I would accelerate and let off the throttle, indicative of like a motor mount or something like that. Wasn't really sure at the time, but in retrospect, I have actually swapped out the motor mounts for solid aluminum motor mounts, and when I pulled the old motor mounts off, both motor mounts were actually totally separated into two pieces, which is not a good thing. Um, and Yeah, so the plan with this car, I'll let you see it again. So you can see, paint's not in great shape. Right now I've got the sunroof out. You can see I've got the front end off. So right now it's like, it's just a hot mess in here. The radiator is literally zip tied in, just so that I can run it for a little bit. And the interior is totally gutted. I pulled just about everything out of there. Right now, I don't know if you can see it through the windshield, but the dash pad is sitting there on the dash bar, bolted back in. But I did have it all out. Took the HVAC out, took out the seats, took out the carpet, took out the stereo, all the speakers, took out the spare tire and tools and any carpeting and everything. As I said, the sunroof is currently out. It's actually tucked away. If you can see it down there, it's tucked away down under the car right now. It'll soon be going to the wayside. I'm actually going to put in a panel there to block that off, because I'm going to be building a race car. That's the plan here, and I want to take you all along for this journey, because in my experience, having built a couple of cars in the past, I say built a couple of cars in the past, having tried to build a couple of cars in the past, I really struggled to know what to do and how to do it. I struggled with the order of operations, like what comes first, what do I need to do before other things, what things need to happen together. And I wanted to document the progress. I wanted to document how I go about things, how I keep it relatively inexpensive. I'm trying to do this for relatively cheap. The long-term vision for this car is likely something like spec E46, like the NASA spec E46. It's a spec series where they limit the car to very close to factory performance, right? There are very few things that you can change beyond that kind of factory performance. So that'll be the plan. In the interim, as I'm building it out, as I'm playing with it and having fun, I still have to go through all of what's known as HPDE, high performance drivers education. I've got to go through 1 through 4 of those in order to get my license to race in the spec E46 series. So in the meantime, I'm going to be doing some drifting. I'm going to do some autocross and HPDE days, among whatever other things I can find or come across. Maybe some private track days if I can find some. Yeah, so as it stands right now, the car, up until just a few days ago, hadn't run in about 6 months. I had started tearing it down and actually went a little too far on some things. I will document those in a later video, giving you some details on like areas where I went a little too far. I don't have a lot of space. As you can see, I'm in a carport, and it faces the street. I don't have a ton of space to store things. Normally my truck would be here, but my wife is with it, has it right now. You know, I don't have space to just store tons of parts and stuff. So when I was stripping it out, I threw away a few things that I really shouldn't have. Some of those things are radiator mounts. And getting rid of those was pretty crucial. So I haven't, and I got rid of the radiator because the one I had was cracked. So I ended up needing to buy a radiator. I just bought this one from AutoZone. Total crap. I think it was Duralast brand. It will never last. But horrible. The radiator came warped. It's literally like if you're looking left to right, it like literally is like almost in a slight V shape. It's really bad. Even one of the brackets that goes on it to hold the expansion tank didn't fit. I had to like really stretch it, really pull it out to like make it fit. And even then, like it's probably going to crack just because of all the tension that's on it. So it's there, it's temporary. I'm going to get a CSF radiator, triple pass, nice radiator. And we'll talk through that, and why that's one of the places where I'm not going to skip on dropping a little bit of money. Got to keep things cool, right? Yeah, I also picked up these wheels, 4 of these BMW factory. I think they might have come off of a 330. I'm not really sure, but when I sold the old wheels, I had to pick these up. I think I paid like 50 or 80 bucks for the whole set. I wish I had paid less because the tires are worthless, but that's fine. You can come across BMW wheels for really cheap, and you can come across them for really cheap with tires on them usually. So. Tires that are not cracked on the sidewalls. Yeah, I would open it up, but this side is locked. I'd have to go around to the other side, and I don't have a good light in there. but I would let you see that it's pretty bare, pretty empty in there. Um, the factory steering wheel is bolted back in, but all the airbags and everything is out. The seats are out. Um, Things on the list coming up. I'm going to start with a 4-point roll bar because I don't need a full cage right now. I'm going to go with a bolt-in 4-point roll bar. I do know the dangers of that. Having said that, I'm going with the Kirk Racing 4-point roll bar, which their 6-point is NASA approved and SCCA approved for a lot of their circuits. So you can they have relative confidence in those bolt-in roll cages, and so I figure the 4-point. I'm not going to be doing anything crazy. I'm going to play it safe until I have a roll cage in there. But this is a bit of a stopgap. In fact, I actually was talking with a friend who owns a company down here called FabTech Welding, and we were actually discussing possibly him welding up a 4-point cage that we can, or a 4-point roll bar that we can weld in. So, we'll see where I land on that. Seats are coming along with the base and the mounts, or the mount plates and the base for that. Harness. I want to be tight in the seat. I don't want to be flying around if I'm on the track and I just want to be planted in the car. Steering wheel, quick release for the steering wheel because that's kind of nice to have when you want to be able to get out from a seat. Fortunately, no roll cage. I might be able to get away with not having a quick release steering wheel for now because I don't have that full cage. So we'll see. Maybe I will, maybe I won't in the short term, but it's coming at some point. As I said, the radiator, the roof delete. There's a hole in the firewall where the HVAC, like the heater core and stuff was. I need to get a block off plate for that so that I'm not just staring at the engine while I'm driving and smelling all the fumes. So that's kind of a starting point. That's the project's on tap for the next short while, and then after that I'm gonna have to probably focus on suspension. It's got some really cheap, crappy suspension that I've been told, I forget the brand, but I've been told that it's gonna, the springs will be or the shocks will be shot in a matter of like a few drives if I'm driving it hard. Everybody has told me like just plan on upgrading them instantly. And then there's like all kinds of reinforcements. These E30s or E46s were very well known for lots of structural issues around the subframes, the rear subframe especially. The subframe will like tear away from the sheet metal because BMW didn't do a great job of reinforcing that area. It's kind of just sheet metal bolts into. So, but that's it for now. These rotors are rusty. That's another thing that I've got to think about and figure out. Once I start driving it, I really haven't spent much time with it on the road, and probably never will. I don't know that I'll ever register it. So other than just kind of going around this little block here, I'll probably not really spend much time on the road, but got to think about the brakes before I really take it out to the track. So that's it. There you have it. I wish you kind of a frontal view. It's kind of hard to see in the dark. It's a dark, kind of like forest green or something like that. I don't know what to call it. But as we go along, you should see that it changes a lot and gets a lot better. That's the hope anyway. And I hope to show you how to go about making a car, building a race car, and doing so on a budget, in phases, progressing along with your skill level, right? Because it's not fun to build a full race car and not be able to use it to its full potential, right? It'd be a waste for me to go spend $40,000 to build a car that is ready for full-on racing, but I can't go full race because I don't have my license, right? So you know, we'll take it step by step and figure out what's good for it. At some point, it's going to be useless for either autocross or for drift, because I can only set it up for one or the other, right? Maybe I'll set it up kind of somewhere in between and just have fun along the way. But and then, you know, later we'll set it up better for spec E46 or something. But whatever the case, you know, I'll keep you in on the loop as we progress, and we'll get this thing going. Should be fun. Should be somewhere shortly after the holidays, actually. That we'll have like the new parts in and have it driving, and maybe head out to the track for the first time. That's the hope, and we'll see. Thank you all for joining, and yeah, leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you. Really appreciate it.